The Galactic Council had seen hundreds of species rise and fall, entire civilizations that prided themselves on their strength, intelligence, or technological prowess. They were a body of the most powerful empires, coming together to ensure balance and peace in the galaxy. So when the Council first heard of humans, a small, relatively primitive species from a planet on the edge of the galaxy called Earth, they hardly paid attention. "What can they offer us?" sneered Lorak, the representative of the mighty Crawl. "Their technology is inferior, their population is insignificant, and their history is nothing but conflict." The rest of the council members nodded in agreement. From the perspective of the galaxy's most advanced species, humanity seemed weak, fragile even. They had short lifespans, were prone to emotional volatility, and lived on a planet that could barely sustain life. Still, the humans had sent a representative as they were eager to participate in the galactic community. It was a woman named Captain Alyssa Grant, an Earth-born military officer who had been tasked with the impossible, convincing the Council that humanity had a place among them. She stood, calm and poised, in the vast chambers of the Council's hall. "We may not be the strongest, the fastest, or the most advanced," Captain Grant began, her voice steady, "but humanity possesses something unique, something none of your species can truly understand until you've seen it for yourselves." The Council listened with skepticism. What could these fragile creatures possibly offer? "You speak of uniqueness," said Vorshin, the counselor from the advanced Vorshi Empire, "but so do all species before they inevitably crumble under pressure. What could your people, who fear death and seem to embrace chaos, have to teach us?" Without missing a beat, Captain Grant smiled faintly. "You think we fear death, but it's not death that drives us, it's life. Let me show you what humans are capable of." A few weeks later, a galactic crisis struck. A massive solar flare from an unstable star threatened the orbiting research station on the distant planet Yara 5, where scientists from multiple species worked together. The flare would hit in less than an hour, and evacuation efforts had failed due to technical malfunctions. The station was doomed. Everyone on board, over 200 lives, was destined to be incinerated unless something extraordinary happened. The Galactic Council watched in horror from their distant seats of power. None of their ships could make it in time. None of their technology could stop the disaster. But then came the humans. An Earthship, a small but agile vessel called the Resolute, was the only ship within range of Yara 5. Its crew was small, and its captain, Alyssa Grant, knew the risks. There was no time to calculate a flawless rescue mission, no guarantees. The odds of survival were slim, even suicidal. But they were humans, and giving up wasn't an option. The Council watched, astonished, as the Resolute pushed into the lethal radiation zone, its shields already buckling. The flare loomed closer, seconds ticking away, and the mission seemed impossible. But what happened next shocked even the most seasoned Council members. One by one, the human crew members volunteered to stay behind in the rescue pods, enabling more of the scientists from the doomed station to evacuate. Each human knew they were signing their death sentence by staying on the station for just a few extra moments, but not one of them hesitated. The Council couldn't comprehend what they were seeing. Self-preservation was the most basic instinct in all life forms. Every other species in the galaxy would have fled, perhaps salvaging what little they could. Yet these humans willingly put their lives on the line, not for glory, not for riches, but simply to save others. It wasn't strategy, it wasn't logic. It was something more primal, the unbreakable bond of sacrifice and resilience. The crew of the Resolute managed to rescue all of the scientists, but at a terrible cost. The ship's shields collapsed just as the last escape pod launched, and the crew members who had stayed behind perished in the flare. The council chambers were silent as the news arrived. These fragile humans, who the Galactic Council had written off as weak, had saved the lives of hundreds, and they did it knowing full well that it would cost them their own. At the next meeting of the Galactic Council, Captain Alyssa Grant stood before them again. This time, there was no skepticism in the eyes of the other council members. They had seen what humans were capable of: sacrifice, bravery, and above all, an unwavering commitment to the lives of others, even those they had never met. "Your people," Lorak said, his voice softened with respect, "they gave their lives For strangers. Captain Grant nodded. Yes, that's what it means to be human. The Council for the first time understood. Humanity's strength wasn't in its technology, its numbers, or its power. It was in something far deeper. Their ability to act in the face of fear, their courage to stand when all seemed lost, and their willingness to sacrifice everything for the greater good. The vote was unanimous. Humanity was granted full membership in the Galactic Council.